I'm a cyber risk analyst, and I've been doing this for about 10 years, including my military experience.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. So, about how much do you make, and what's the highest career earning potential?
Right now, I make around 100K, and I would say the highest earning potential could be 150, about that.
Okay, cool. That sounds dope. That sounds dope. So, what does the day to day of your role actually look like?
So for me, I work in organizational risk management, and so my day-to-day includes dealing with any type of exceptions to best cyber practices for my company. So that could be something like trying to decide and weigh the risk of fixing certain vulnerabilities, not fixing them. Can we afford that downtime? And what all does that entail? Any type of interdependencies, things like that. Just all of the things related to cyber risk fall into our team's bucket.
Okay, all right, we love it. We love it. So, look, people are going to want to know, what are the pros and cons of your job? You've been in this industry for about 10 years. What would you say are the pros that most people wouldn't really expect? And then what would you say are some of the cons or downsides?
Honestly, I feel like in my experience, because I have worked at a couple of companies, is that the flexibility is a great thing. I feel like in cyber, people tend to be more flexible in terms of, are you interested in this? Do you have this interest in this skill set, and try to gear you towards that. I just feel like people tend to try to train you and go towards where you want to go in your personal and professional goals. As far as the cons, honestly, I don't see any cons. Black people need to be in tech. There's good money in there. The networking, I feel like there's a strong sense of camaraderie in the black tech community. So I can't think of any cons, especially because tech is very remote work friendly. As I feel like it's one of the few fields where they're still keeping remote work strong. So work-life balance, I love it.
I'm a QA, and I only have a month of experience.
A month of experience as a QA analyst?
1 month.
That's crazy. All right, so look, about how much do you make and what's the career earning potential?
Right now, starting at around 60,000, and then you can make at least 120 or better. So,
All right, that's solid. That's solid. All right, so bet. So, what exactly do you do as a QA?
I test the integrity of the websites. To make sure they're functioning. Pretty much the front end, it's just JavaScript, pretty much.
Yo, that's fire. All right, bro. So, what kind of person would you say is a good fit for your role, personality-wise?
I'll give you a little background real quick. I came from a front-end web development bootcamp, and that's basically what I do all day. I test the integrity of the websites, so people that's working in JavaScript can usually get in this role.
Okay, would you say as a person that's more of an extrovert or introvert? Like what?
Introvert, extrovert. I work remote, by the way, so I really doesn't matter to me.
I'm a cloud solutions architect, and I have about 2 decades of experience in the tech industry.
Okay, lit. All right, so within that 2 decades of experience, currently right now, about how much do you make and what's the career earning potential?
I make around 175 plus base salary plus stocks and bonuses and things like that. And the potential is about around 500K to 800K, depending on how you move, like CTO, CIO, and things like that. Yeah.
Yo, we love to hear. We love to hear. So what exactly do you do as a cloud solutions architect?
So day to day, I interact with my customers and help provide like proof of concepts, proof of values to help them build that technical architecture so they can be the most successful. And at the end of the day, I'm a sales engineer, so I actually build on top of Azure and provide them those solutions in that space.
Okay, that's fire. So look, what's the biggest pro and the biggest con of your role?
The biggest pro is I can build whatever I want to. So when you think about data, artificial intelligence, I can go out there and build it from a boat, from a laptop, on the couch. So I love that. The downside is that you're going to always be driven for the money. So when I'm in sales, so at the end of the day, you're going to always be held to a quota. So you got to know how to make that money.
An account development rep, and I'm in for about 2 months.
Okay, lit, 2 months. We love to see it. So look, about how much do you make and what's the career earning potential?
I make around 60, and the career earning potential that I've seen, like people scale to like the high 6 figures of like 150, 200K. Like those are the folks that have been in for like a couple years. That's where I'm looking to go.
Fire, love it. All right, so what exactly do you do in your role?
Well, for me, I work for a medical supply chain company, so I basically prospect hospitals to do our to buy our software. So we basically we're like the Amazon for hospitals. So like we provide full visibility so hospitals can know where your stuff is. Shockingly enough, a lot of hospitals don't have that, and it was a little scary when I found that out. But we basically provide full visibility on your shipments from hospital to hospital.
Yo, that's fire. So what kind of person would you say is a good fit for that type of role?
I would say, it doesn't matter if you're introverted or not. you're only talking to these people for a few seconds, if that, if you're able to just be a good people person, be polite, be personable, you should be just fine.
I'm a security engineer, a total about 7 years experience in the enterprise space.
Perfect. And about how much do you make and what's the career earning potential?
I make between 100 and 150,000, and I've known people to make upwards of about $700,000 a year.
And what do you do exactly?
So my specific role as a security engineer, for records, industry standards, sometimes they refer to it as a cybersecurity engineer. My role deals with internal customers. Right now it's mostly vulnerability management, endpoint detection and response solutions, and public key infrastructure, setting up vaults and secrets.
And what kind of person is a good fit for your world, like personality-wise?
I believe anybody's a good fit, and I'm not just saying that to say it.
Yeah.
If you're really passionate about it, if you have the drive to get it, get a muse in mind. For me, my muse is my family. Once I have my family in the back of my head, I'm gonna do it, and it's worked out so far.
Okay. And so what's the biggest pro and then also con to your job?
Sure. So the biggest pro is the opportunities to climb. So right now, yes, I'm between that salary range. Yes, I'm only doing this vulnerability management type of role, but there's this opportunity to go out and do so much more. I'm aiming for like an architect type of role or a red team type of role. So we'll see. But
No, you're good.
no. The cons. Wow, is there a con? It's hard work. But you know what? Nothing worth doing is without challenges, right? So, yes, it's a con on paper, but we're a sum total of our life experiences. So it's not really a con. I can say it's a con for the video, but in totality, it's not. Everything adds value to your life.
Yeah, so I'm an account manager at Recharge Payments. I've been with Recharge for over 2 years now, but I've been in the tech space for almost 7 years now.
Yo, that is super fire. So, about how much do you make, and what's the career earning potential?
Yeah, so right now I'm currently on the low end, mostly due to like experience, but I make anywhere between, let's say 70K to 90K, but the earning potential is at least upwards of 160K, depending on like what company you go for and what enterprise level you have of like experience. So.
Yeah, that's fire. So, what exactly do you do?
Yeah, so at Recharge as an account manager, it's essentially CSM without a lot of the sales initiatives. So as far as what I do at Recharge is I work with our e-commerce merchants to optimize their subscription program. So think HelloFresh, that kind of stuff. I help them optimize the back end of what they do for recurring billing. So.
Okay, good stuff. And what's the biggest pro and the biggest con of your role?
So the biggest pro is actually connecting with a lot of e-commerce merchants. I have at least 70 merchants in my book right now that across different verticals and different industries. So being exposed to that is amazing. But one of the cons is probably it's still a customer-facing role. So there is a lot of natural stress and emotions that come out of that. So it's not necessarily like for everybody, but that's probably one of the big cons though.
So I am a mid-level recruiter, been with the company for about 5 years and in this role for 4.
Okay, good. So, a tech recruiter. And how much do you make, and what's the career earning potential?
Got you. So I make it about 100 at my level, and then if you're going into more senior or elite level, 120, 140 and up.
Yo, we love to hear it. So, look, what exactly does your day-to-day look like as a tech recruiter?
Cool. So it's more like full life cycle recruiting that's engaging with applicants, doing application review, screening, putting them into the funnel, full application process, and then hopefully making an offer.
Yo, man, love it, love it. So look, what is your biggest pro and biggest con within your role?
They're kind of the same. My biggest pro is that you get to interact with people a lot. So there's a lot of diversity, a lot of like engagement, and it's really good to see people at a certain career profile because conversations are very intentional, a lot of really good feedback you can give. I guess the con would be it is a bit of the same. So maybe if you can shift around with teams or different functions that you can recruit for, that could be helpful.
Yeah, so I work at Intuit. I'm a senior program manager for early career and diversity programs, and I've been here for about 2.5 years.
Yo, that's fire, bro. So look, so about how much do you make, and what's the career earning potential?
So I'm in the range of 150 plus, right? And honestly, earning potential is up where almost potentially around 200K, depending on, what projects and programs I'm leading.
Yo, that's fire. So look, what exactly does your role entail?
So my role as a program manager is, so I lead all of U.S. sales, early career internship program, and a little bit of middle management, really covering, one, diversity, but also how are we getting folks into the sales roles while preparing them with the right resources and support for them to serve our customers.
Okay, I love it. I love it. All right, man. So look, people are going to want to know this. What's the biggest pro of your job and what's the biggest con?
So I think the biggest pro of my job is, one, we actually have products at Intuit that really impact businesses, small business. So dreamers and believers, we're making doers and executioners, right? So we're actually impacting those kind of businesses. So the pro of it is, let me help you understand and reach your best self so these businesses can reach their full potential. Yeah. The biggest con, I would say, is we are remote, right? The good and bad of it is being remote, we don't see our customers. We are from a call center, right? We are digital or remote. And sometimes building that relationship in person means a lot, especially when you see somebody's bakery, yoga studio, tattoo shop flourishing, right? A lot of it is just conversation, but we try to build genuine conversation. So the con of it is not being in the moment physically with our customers.
So I work with revenue operations. It's in the cybersecurity and compliance company. I've been doing it for about 3 to 4 months. It's been great.
Yo, that's lit. That's lit. So look, all right, so about how much do you make and what's the career earning potential?
Okay, so in my company, I make roughly around a little under 6 figures, so about $8,000 a year, $80,000 a year, and it goes upwards to about 150, depending on where you go. It can be higher than that, and some a little bit lower than that, but the medium is roughly around 90,000 a year.
Okay. All right, that's fire. That's fire. So look, what does your day-to-day entail? You said revenue operations. Like, what does that look like?
Okay, so everything from pricing, quoting, report building. We work with the sales team, making sure they're monitoring whether or not they're sticking with their sales calls and whatnot, keeping them on top of things, and also working with the executive board so that they know what the numbers are so that we can determine what's the best fit for moving forward in sales and hunting.
Okay. All right, that makes a lot of sense. So, all right, last question. What kind of person would you say is a good fit for this type of role?
If you like numbers, sometimes you got to take the emotions out of it because you have people that'll, sales team that tend to be a little bit more, they're going to do it, or we might do it, or they might go, but we really got to stick with the numbers. So I like to take the 3 birds test. And if you're an owl, then it's perfect for you, a little bit more analytical.
All right, so I am the VP at a digital programmatic company. I've been doing it for probably about 15 years or so. I have worked at this particular company for about 3 years, but been in the industry for about 15.
Yo, that's amazing. That's amazing. So about how much do you make and what's the career earning potential?
So you probably would, at my level, probably start off at about 175, 200. Earning potential probably would be upwards of 5.
All right, so like 500,000? Okay, cool. All right, just want to be clear because people in the comments going to be like, 5,000. Like, so it's a few people that's, But all right, but let's talk about it. So you're a VP. Love that. It's beautiful to see that. What does your job entail or your day-to-day?
Sure. So a number of different things. So I deal with a lot of the tech folks at my company. So I would probably consider my role to be probably a little bit more non-tech because I'm on the business side, and so I'm considered technically leadership or management. So I tend to work with our Center of Excellence, which is in India a lot. Work with my team here in the U.S. that are required to deliver a number of solutions to our clients. So whether it's our traders that run our digital campaigns, or it is basically our solutions engineers, our data scientists, and analysts and so forth, that's essentially the folks that I deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, so, and I should have asked this earlier. So I know you're VP. Is there like a certain like subtitle to the VP, like a VP of?
Okay. Client leadership, specifically. So I work a lot with agencies. I work a lot with brands directly, and also their C-suites.
Okay, dope. And what would you say is I was going to ask you what was a pro and con, but instead I'll actually ask, what kind of person, so if someone sees you and there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be interested and they're like inspired by this, what would you say is the type of person that you think would be good for this, or what they should be prepared to become to be good for this type of role?
Oh, that's a good question. I think you have to be an audacious thinker. You probably have to challenge the norm. I think being a woman in this field also requires a certain level of braveness. So you can't be too afraid of a little bit of hard work, but also you can't be too afraid to also challenge people who are also more senior than you as well. And on that same level. But I would say that if you have a general natural interest in tech, it's a great area to be in. If you are more technical versus non-technical, that's also okay. I come from, actually my background primarily was advertising. And then I started to specialize in the digital world, and then that's how I actually got into tech. So I feel like the journey wasn't necessarily straight, and that's also okay as well. So I think for people who are kind of just maybe doing a little bit of this, you'll figure out your path and find your way and eventually get there. But yeah, I think just probably overall a little bit of braveness has been helpful in my career.
My name is Juby, and I'm the CEO at Yellowtail Tech.
Okay, good stuff. Now, how long has Yellowtail Tech been in business, and about how successful is Yellowtail Tech?
We've been in business since 2016, and actually we've been recognized by Inc. 5000 as one of the fastest growing company in the U.S. for 2023.
Wow, the fastest growing companies in the U.S.?
Yeah. Actually, we are the 10th fastest growing company in the education sector.
Yo, that's incredible, incredible. So listen, gotta know, people are gonna wanna know, your company's really successful, killing it, you've helped a lot of people get into the tech industry. What roles is Yellowtail Tech currently hiring for or will be hiring for in the near future?
We mostly are looking now for system engineers for back-end operation and a few instructors, but that's about it for now.
So I am a recruiting and DEI leader. I've been in the industry for about 15 years.
Okay, lovely, lovely. And in 15 years, about how much do you make? And what's the highest career earning potential in your space?
So I'm not going to tell you what I make, but folks in my position can make upwards of $200K annually between base and bonus, creeping up to $300K. What was the second part of the question?
No, you answered it. Yeah, because the first part was how much you make, but you was like, all right, I'm going to tell you about how much somebody can make. So creeping up to $300,000 is the career earning potential in this space. I love it, I love it. All right, good stuff. So what does the day-to-day of your role actually look like?
Yeah, so managing a team of recruiters, providing insights, data to executive leaders, really setting a strategic vision for how recruiting and DEI should work within a human resources or talent acquisition function.
Okay, that's fire. Now, we talked about earning potential. We talked about what your day-to-day looks like. Want to know from you, what kind of person would you say is a good fit for your type of role versus what person might, we're not going to say wouldn't be a good fit, but that they would have to deal with maybe more challenges or overcome more challenges?
Yeah, so someone who can operate in a fast-paced, changing environment, they're going to thrive in this space, but you also have to have attention to detail and executive presence. So if I can't put you in front of a C-suite leader and you be able to get their buy-in, this might not be the career for you at the leadership level. So I would say you got to be able to adapt, be adroit, be interested in influencing, but do it in a way that's strategic and tactical.
So I'm Assad Morman. I'm the CEO, founder, and president of CyberDojo Solutions. We are a managed security service provider located in Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Okay, good. That's fire. That's fire. So about how much does your company make a year, and how long has your company been in business?
So right now we've been in business 3 years as of last month. We're pulling in probably around about $250,000 a year. Trying to grow once we start getting more contracts in the government, start getting out there, because we already have people answering. We already bidding for contracts right now. That valuation is just going to keep going up.
All right, good stuff. And making $250,000 plus a year, what exactly does your company do?
So basically what we do is we step in for companies who don't have IT departments or who may not have like the skills or the staff to man an IT department. And what we do is we come in and we do that role for them so that they can focus on what they do best.
Oh, lovely, lovely. That sounds so good. So listen, company's been in business for 3 years, over a little over $250,000 a month. Cybersecurity space, providing those services to companies, incredible, very important. But we have to ask, what does your day-to-day look like as a CEO?
So what my day-to-day, I get up around about 4 o'clock in the morning. Like I tell people all the time, like, hey, if you're going to be a CEO, you're going to be up. And you're going to go to bed late. So usually my day starts with meditation. I do a prayer. I also practice Islam. So what I do is once I finish that, I go into the work, check my email, talk with my staff, basically say, okay, where are we at? What roadblocks do we have? And we go from there throughout that day.
reach out to clients that may need, ask questions or things like that. Try to have lunch. Usually my lunch is sitting at my desk, so I don't go out anywhere. And then basically by the end of the day, I'm trying to just calm down from there.
Yo, that's so real. Now, we got to ask, because a lot of people are going to want to know, there's a lot of potential in the cybersecurity space, especially providing services to other companies. So how can someone partner with or invest in your company?
So basically, they can reach out to us on cyberdojogroup.com. Find us on any platform, LinkedIn, Facebook. And basically, once you do that, basically just have us reach out to us, and we'll talk to y'all from there.
So my name is Deon, and I've been in tech for a little bit over 2 years, 2 years and 6 months, and I'm a diversity program manager for Dell Technologies.
Okay, that's fire, that's fire. So about how much do you make, and what's the career earning potential?
I make well over 6 figures. I'll say 130K plus. I ain't gonna give you the specific number, but what was the second question?
What's the highest career earning potential in your space?
I mean, if you make it up to a leadership level, you can make well over 250K, 300K. It depends what you negotiate. Yeah.
All right, cool. So what does the actual day-to-day of your job look like?
Okay, so currently my role is to work with HBCUs. So Dell Technologies have 13 partnered HBCUs from FAMU to Howard, and what we do is we build relationship with these HBCUs and understand their needs and also understand the student needs and try to bridge those gaps. So we also offer internship opportunities and then recent grad full-time opportunities to them, but also say, hey, if you need a tech lab, let's figure out a way how to make that happen within a year or 2 year basis.
Okay, that's so fire, so fire. So listen, what would you say are the biggest pros of your job or industry, and what are some of the biggest cons?
Well, the biggest pros is I get to go to HBCUs because I'm an HBCU alumni. FAMU, shout out to the Rattlers. And for me, I'm first gen. So at HBCUs, there's a lot of first gen, and I get to work with students that come from those backgrounds that don't have that foundation, right? Because I didn't. I think a con is trying to get the business to understand what HBCU culture is like and trying to get HBCUs to understand what to expect from the business. Sometimes they expect too much, sometimes they expect too little. So the fact that I have a background from going to a HBCU, then I also taught at a HBCU, and now I work for a tech company. So my traditional route is not tech. So my background is in education and business. So I get to be the glue between both and understand the nuances and communicate the nuances so both parties are finding a happy medium in terms of relationship.
Mario Sparks, the founder and CEO of the Opportunity Group.
Okay, good stuff. So about how long have you been in business, and how much does your business make a year?
Right, so we've been in business since 2015. We gen roughly around 5 to 7 million US dollars per year.
Okay, 5 to 7 million? Wow, that's incredible. So look, what does your company do to be able to generate 5 to 7 million a year?
So we do a lot of government contracts in Jamaica. We are now trying to enter the US market. One of the products that we have aggressively pushing in the market is AITix, which is our experiential platform. So for events, festivals, concerts, etc.
Yo, that is fire, fire. Yeah. So listen, what can someone do to invest in AITix?
Right, so reach out to us, info at mypurpleteam.com or info at msec-solutions.com, or you can reach out to me at 954-225-5460.
Yeah. A senior product manager, and I've been doing it for 5 years.
Okay, that's dope, that's dope. So look, in 5 years, about how much do you make, and what's the highest career earning potential in the product management space?
Over 200K, and the highest over $1 million.
Woo!
Yeah, them big dogs, they getting big money, yes.
Yeah. I mean, you already a big dog at 200K, but that's...
the levels to this thing, yeah. The product is a high demand industry. High demand, feel highly recommended.
Love it, love it. So listen, what does the day-to-day of your job look like?
It starts with a daily stand-up with my engineers. What do we have on our current sprint? What's on our roadmap? And then if they're blocked, meaning they can't accomplish a goal, I jump in to help facilitate the conversations to keep the work moving forward.
Okay, that's lovely. Now, a lot of people are going to want to know, there's a lot of opportunity in this space, like you mentioned, but what are some of the biggest pros of being a product manager, and what are some of the cons?
The pros is I get to impact the top and bottom line. I can launch a feature and see the revenue. I can see the engagement. The cons is stakeholder management. I got to get a lot of people to say, yo, thumbs up, before I can really go, so it can be challenging at times.
Okay, that's super fire. Now, last question. That being said, what kind of person would you say is maybe the best fit for this type of role or industry? But also, what kind of person would you say, we're not going to say isn't the best fit, but maybe they might have to deal with more challenges or more growth?
Someone's a collaborator, someone that wants the team to win, very focused on the team, will be successful as a PM. Someone that wants all the credit or wants to do everything themselves will probably have challenges as a PM.
Okay.
I'm giving this off the dome, Cyrus. I ain't even
Off the dome. Yo,
I
no.
ain't even prep. I just came off stage.
He really did. There's no preparation at all.
Off the dome, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, look, we appreciate you, man.